Hey everyone, Dr. Frunkey here with an interesting new knife comparison for you between two brand new integral handled knives coming from Chinese companies. Right here is the WE Knives 811 and the Reate Knives Jack. That's right, both of these knives are integral handled, beautiful M390 bladed knives coming out of China. And I think that this sort of furthers my opinion that 2018 may be the year of the integral. And that's, I think, catching on in the community. Certainly, some of the knives that first got me interested in knives at all, in folding knives, were the Reate Nirvana and the Spyderco Nirvana with their integral handles. And I've always been very curious and passionate about these knives, and I've really enjoyed them. So to see these production knives coming in at much lower price points, it's really amazing for me to see. Now, speaking of price points, the Reate Jack, as this was purchased, was $450. They're not released yet, and I'm not sure that that's the final price. They may be slightly more when they're fully released. But this is the WE 811. I bought this one outright. It was $348 standard price for everyone who bought one of these. There were 300 of these knives that were made. This one is going to go into full production. I don't know that this has a limited number, but these are two knives that represent what these high-end Chinese companies are putting out. I think Reate Knives and WE Knives are really the forefront of the Chinese high-end knife manufacturers. And so I thought that this comparison would be a lot of fun for you guys. So here we are, 2 minutes in, and let's go ahead and take a look at these two knives. So this Reate Knives Jack came to me from my buddy Sid. I got it at the Blade Show. When I was at Blade Show, I went to the Reate table, and they were showing off a bunch of brand new knives, including some Kirby Lamberts. But this knife, the Jack, really stole the show in my opinion. This was my favorite production knife at Blade Show 2018, hands down. Just the amazing fit and finish and quality, and all at $450 for M390 Damas steel marbled carbon fiber and titanium integral handle. Unbelievable price and value, and so I was absolutely blown away. Now, WE Knives did have some integral handled knives at their booth. It seemed more like a reprocessed 702, and then they announced this after Blade Show. I did not see this knife at Blade Show, but I knew that they were working on a handful of integral handled knives. I brought home with me the Pleroma, which is one of 3 integral designs that are coming out from Elijah through WE Knives. And so I saw that WE Knives was doing that, but I didn't see this design. So this knife holds a special place because it was so impressive at the time when I saw it. And so it's great to see this competition coming through. This one has a hand-rubbed satin finish. It has M390 steel. Like I said, it has this carbon fiber inlay. Take a look at the WE Knives finish. This one said hand-rubbed satin on the certificate of authenticity, but as you can see, it has something more of a media blasted finish. I don't know if they had to change that at the last minute or something like that, but it is a nice finish. It's very bright. It's a beautiful finish, but I don't know if it's going to hide wear quite as well as some others. I haven't used this knife yet. It's hard for me to say how that's going to go. I think that the hand-rubbed satin will certainly show marks pretty quickly, so I may give points in favor to this one. This may actually hide wear a bit better than a full hand-rubbed satin. I will say that the blade stock on this bigger one here, let's see what we're looking at. The big guy's blade stock is coming in at 172 thousandths right there, and this one is 158 thousandths, so it's a little bit thinner on this. I would say that their cutting ability is going to be fairly similar. They're both thick blade stocks, they're both flat ground, and so they're not going to be your ideal apple slicers, but they're going to function similarly in your EDC tasks. I will say that the blade shapes are both very functional. Something I'm happy with is that they're focusing on the functional side of things. One of the reasons I love the Peter Reate knives, and especially the Nirvana, is that it's a no-nonsense knife. It is a blade and a handle, and a functional and excellent blade shape at that. And these have stuck to that sort of philosophy as well, a very useful blade shape. I like the addition of the Spidey-like hole on the WE knife right here. It's not the most easiest to use, but I can flick it at the right angle, and so I appreciate that there is another way to open the knife if I want to. So I give points there. Both of them are flippers. The flipping action is good on both. I will give props to the Reate on overall smoothness, though. The absolute incredible drop shut smoothness and the detent absolutely are incredible on the Reate, and a 10 out of 10. I think that the WE knife has a little bit of extra lock bar tension, and so the action, it is good on the opening, but it's not quite as drop shut smooth on the closure. You can shut that. I'd give it maybe a 7 out of 10. Honestly, it's not gritty, it's just not fast, you know. Very, very nice action, though, on the Reate. Definitely give points there. Moving back to the handles, these knives have these beautifully done integral titanium handles. Both of them feature carbon fiber inlays. This knife right here has this very large piece of marbled carbon fiber, flush fit. It creates a liner lock type situation where the scale here is actually covering the lock so that you don't feel it right there. I apologize for having a Band-Aid on my thumb. I have a cut there. I'm just covering it up for you guys. I will say that the handle on the WE Knife 811 is unbelievable. This is one of the coolest handles I've ever seen on a knife. Just a very, very nice finish. Some people have called it galvanized almost. Maybe is that what the finish looks like? I called it like a ice wash finish. It's beautiful. And these scales, these inlays are flush fit. There is no visible hardware on the scales there. There are hardware on the outside of the Reate knives. Hidden. These must be glued in. Unbelievable. The pivot. There's Damasteel pivot collars on the Reate, and there's titanium on the WE knife. This is the WE knife's probably Achilles heel right here is the WE knife logo on the pivot. I wish that they would do away with that, especially on these higher end limited editions. They could have done that in a more subtle way. It should have matched this side right here, and it would have been really beautiful. In any case, let's look at the clips. Both are milled titanium clips. Very impressive on both. Both function quite well. Something that these Chinese companies do very well is that they focus on the functionality of their product. So these clips are as functional as they are beautiful. The milling on the Reate clip is a little bit maybe more complex with that diamond milling right there. You got the 3 lines on the WE knife. I'm glad that on the WE knife they didn't put the logo on there. Sometimes they put the WE knives logo on there. Let's take a look at these two things just side by side, just the spines of these things. So this is always the coolest part of an integral to me, is putting the spines next to each other. So take a look here at the finish work side by side. The Reate has that pretty milling. It's not sharp anywhere. All the corners are knocked down. The WE knife is unbelievably smooth. Now, some people have asked if it's too smooth and it's going to come out of the hand. The contouring is quite excellent, and you have a very secure grip on it. I will say that the Jack maybe feels a bit more secure in hand, but it's also a much bigger knife. So let's take it to that point right there. The Jack is a considerably bigger knife overall right here, coming in with over a 4-inch blade. I didn't even measure these out yet. So there's a 4-inch blade on the Jack, 4.1 inches there, and it's about a 3.75 inches, 3.8 inches here on the WE knife right here. The WE knife is also much slimmer and much lighter. Let's get the scale out here while we have some time left. The WE knife is coming in at 4.43 ounces. That's about perfect for my everyday carry. I really like something between 4 and 5 ounces. This is 6.75 ounces, so unbelievably big and heavy. So honestly, I would choose the WE Knives 811 for my everyday carry because of the size and the weight, and I actually think I like the handle a little bit better in hand, and it's just a little bit better of a size for me. It's slim, it's easy to carry, and I've really loved having this. The Jack is a spectacular knife, still my favorite production knife of Blade Show 2018. It's just a little bit too big for me to carry. Now, if this is a totally subjective decision right here. This may vary for you. I just wanted to get these two knives on camera, show you how impressive they are, show you these awesome integrals from these awesome companies. So tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Go ahead and click like and subscribe to my channel here. Head over to Instagram. Check me out at Dr. Frunkey. Check out these two companies. And as always, guys, take care.